Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, my fellow YouTubers. Welcome to another edition of Mary Sky Rita Lee's video blog. I'm Mary Sky, also known as Fleet Admiral Crabbing McCoffee. I just want to say, hey, I am thinking of you guys. I decided to do a short video live. I saw Mark message me. Hey, Marky, what up, boy? So, had some problems logging in, by the way. Apparently, YouTube is completely congested with everyone trying to make videos live. Apparently, I haven't done one in a while, so apparently they should just give me command of it and let me do it because, frankly, we got a lot to tackle and short time to do it, and then I got to go give my little dog a walk. So, here is the deal. We're having coffee time with Rita. I got a big old coffee. Hope your coffee is hot. Let's get down to business. So, first of all, I want to tell you today we're going to be talking about Social Security. But if you're new to the channel, hit the like, subscribe, thumbs up. And if you're comer backer, welcome. So, as you saw in my previous video, I thought about sending a gift card to Brother Higgins, Easter present. A lot of you guys are basically sitting there thinking, okay, cool. Now, we're here to talk about the biggest thing in the world, right? And that is Social Security, right? Now, I got a lot of emails. I've been doing a lot of stuff off and on. And a lot of people are wondering what's going to happen to Social Security. I can't tell you. My father-in-law turns around and says that he's going to take on the last programming language that he wants to learn, being on Social Security, of course, retirement, and he takes a job where he makes like $4,000, $5,000 a month anyways, to supplement his income, to, get this, supplement it under Python. He's going to basically take up computer programming again at 73. No one's going to hire him. Apparently, he thinks between Cobalt, Python, and C++ and C++ and all this other crap, then he can make a living better than most people. Maybe, but let's just go down to the preparations of what's going to happen just in case Social Security gets cut. Okay. Now, this is just hypothetical. I don't want anyone basically sitting there and seeing my show later and saying, yeah, I'm wrong. First of all, the tourist season, apparently tourism is going down the toilet right now because of the tariffs, the travelers, and all of it. I mean, literally, I've never seen so many reports coming in from my own area, about tourism. I know a friend of mine said, I would love to see what the tourism like here on the island. No, this is not a good time to see tourism on the island because tourist season is around the corner, but no one's going to basically make tourism because apparently no one wants to come out here due to the fact that tariffs are nailing things. Our biggest tourism that comes over here to visit the islands are people from all over the world. That's down the toilet. Why? Well, apparently between tariffs and everything. Well, by the way, before people say, oh, well, you work great, we get tariffs. Well, that's good for you. You can enjoy your tariffs, okay? A lot of people out there have been messaging me, asking me specifically what's going to happen for. I'm an old lady, so, I see it all the time as what's going to happen to the future. I can't guarantee it. I mean, I cannot guarantee the future. I mean, I've heard people say that business is going to go bust. Companies are going to go under on the island. It's because people aren't affording what they can. I mean, people own boats. That's the other thing. I just heard the report today. The boats are going to be tariffed. Most boats are imported. Yeah. Did you know that? Wow. And then boat parts are imported. Wow. Think about it. Your tariffs just went up on boats, motorhomes, RVs, campers, trucks. Oh, you see the tariff thing about the trucks? They had a report, $100,000 for a new pickup truck. Wow, isn't that amazing? $100,000. So, a lot of you guys are sitting there thinking, oh yeah, here comes Rita on the smug, I told you so. I didn't say anything. And I'm not going to. I'm just saying we need to prep, okay? Now, a lot of you have messaged me saying, hey, Rita, are you really certain Social Security is going to come? Negative. I'm not going to say Social Security is going down the way of the dodo bird. I'm just saying there's a lot of problems. Now, if let's just say, in my other video, I talked about moderator, Sister Pee-wee, some of her family and her, she's on certain retirement plan. And I don't know all of it, but if they cut her off, it hurt her probably. Brother Higgins, same thing. I worry about Higgins. I'm still thinking at Easter time, send him a gift card. However, what he did to me was wrong, and he needs to realize, that he needs to not make that mistake again. But I do forgive. Fortunately, right now, we're not out of the woods. And that is because as a prepper, we don't know what we're looking at. We don't know how bad it's going to be. Yeah. I mean, between tariffs and more tariffs, it's not good. I mean, people say to me, do you think Social Security is going to be cut? Well, I had a family resource center contact me on certain channels, and they asked me, what happens if Social Security got cut? People are worried. They're calling them up. Oh, can you help? I said, you guys would be out of money within 2 or 3 days, 24 hours minimum, 96 hours maximum. And if beloved moderator Zoe was around, uh, yeah, we won't go there. I'm just going to throw her name out there. She's been to the island. She knows that these people could not survive. The Family Resource Center would be out of business. Not to mention the government's now turning around and trying to take away the taxi service. That's something I just heard from someone today. They're like, yeah, taxi service. They're trying to cut the funding for the taxi service for like the local taxi on the island that helps. Isn't that interesting? Now, again, moderator Miss Zoe, if she was here, would say the same thing. That's not right. Then, on top of this, they decided to also cut. I just got the report from some people. Food banks around the Washington State's being cut. Food banks and blue states are being cut like crazy. Yeah. But you know as well as I do that like people like me, I don't go there that often, but like Brother Higgins, man, he may need the food bank and it may not be there for him. He's in a blue state, I think. Then you got all these people saying, oh, he's not going to touch Social Security. He is. He's basically allowing it to implode within in. It's from what I understand. Now, I could be wrong, but I'm just saying, for the record, if you're basically trying to cut out phone service so you can't get a hold of Social Security, then what happens if that happens? What if hypothetically, Brother Higgins turns around and he's got something coming up soon, right? Or I think it's something, right? We won't go there. And then all of a sudden they say, oh, you got to wait 18 months because we're closing all these Social Security offices, we're restructuring. He's sitting there in limbo. In the meantime, while he's waiting 18 months, let's just say he kicks the bucket for some damn reason, right? I hope Brother Higgins never kicks the bucket, but I'm just saying, right? So think of it from that point of view. I mean, we all have to suffer some way or other. And right now, I am really worried about the elderly, Sister Pee Wee, Brother Higgins, other people. Hell, even Brother Mark, he messaged today. What up, Marky? Literally, the whole thing is, if Social Security collapses, what are you going to do? Do you have a backup plan? And that's what we're going to talk about. You need to have things put aside. This is not the time to buy big items. I keep saying that. You can also follow me on Blue Sky, handles Airy Sky Rita Lee. I saw Brother Higgins the other day post something. Are we out of the woods yet? No, we're not. And if you ask me, you can also call me. You can email me. I've been waiting to hear from him anyways. But my point is Brother Higgins needs to realize that we're not out of the woods yet. And one of the things that I want to say is if moderator Zoe was here, she would understand that right now is not the time to buy anything big. Even on an island like this, you need to basically stick with your guns and not do much. And basically watch what's going on. I mean, literally, you guys got so far everything that's been issued is executive orders. And, you got the courts doing it. Now I hear things like the people talking about how they don't want Donald Trump to basically take their Social Security away. And yet you hear Moses Mike Johnson say, oh, we're going to take away the courts. We'll just dissolve the federal courts. How's that going to play out to people? I mean, how many Americans out there want federal courts dissolved? So then there is more. When they created the Constitution, they created the executive branch, the judicial branch, and then the House and Senate, which is the bulwark to check and keep everything checks and balances. If you take one away, what happens, right? You think Supreme Court's going to be there? The federal courts, is the Supreme Court going to be? So the bottom line is, what do you want to do? So the thing is, this ain't about prepping for food right now, people. This is not something you want to do. This is something that's big. This is bigger than news. This is the biggest thing ever since sliced cheese. And that is, what are you gonna do if you wake up April 1st, no money? You gonna sit there and do like the Commerce Secretary said? You're just gonna sit back and accept no Social Security for a month or two, because if you complain, it's considered what do you call it? Fraud? I mean, what if Sister Pee Wee's family basically loses their Social Security check? Then what? Oh, by the way, apparently I basically typed error in this. Is this the error I did? Something about 328? I'll have to fix it when I get done. But you get the point. So, how many people are going to basically sit there and say, well, I mean, look, let me tell you a story. There's people out there in the world. My adopted grandmother, 97, she would complain. My adopted grandpa, he'd complain. He's in his 87, 88 now. He would complain. My adopted uncle, who's gay, he is disabled. He would complain about not having a check, and they paid into it. So when you sit there and you say, I paid into it, what happens when you don't get your money? What if in the next 3 months, for example, okay, this is where I'm talking about prepping, okay, and they turn around and they literally cut your benefits? What are you going to do then, huh? This is why you need a plan. If you can, hold back some of your money. I mean, look what's going on in the world right now. There's a lot of people out there that are literally turning around and they're literally looking at the big picture. You sit there and you plan carefully. For example, what if I turned around, okay, made a battle plan, hypothetically, and I told Chloe, best way to survive, which, by the way, Chloe can come back here for a month longer if there's an emergency situation, okay? Now, before you ask, yes, she's in the other room, she's visiting, she's supposed to be cleaning, but I want to tell you a story for all you out there. What are you going to do when Social Security's cut? What about brother Mark? Mark's somewhere in Ohio. What if he gets cut? My father-in-law says it's coming. How are you going to plan for it? How is anyone going to plan for it? Think about it. People around the country is literally either basically sitting there thinking the news is fake or the news isn't. I heard a couple articles the other day. One said that there was $880 billion cut off of Medicaid. I checked into it. I ran it, as I told you in the previous videos. I ran it through AI, every AI, and it came back that it was only $8 billion cut off the continuing resolution. That isn't numbers. I don't know what is, but my point is this, people. I'm not here to sit here and preach to the choir. I'm saying, do you have a plan? Because me and Chloe, we got a plan put together. But problem is, how long do we survive? I mean, literally. See, a lot of these people out there that live in subsidized housing, they don't have a plan. That's the thing. HUD, rumor has it HUD was cut. What happens if HUD gets cut? What happens? They get homeless, right? They're homeless. So what happens if these people get their checks cut and they got to pay for Section 8? You think the government's going to turn around and do a coronavirus package where you can't be evicted? Negative. This is what they might want to do. Think about it. Let's just break it down, okay? Like I said, Easter's coming. I'm going to send a gift to brother Higgins. A gift card, $25, $50. I'm going to go buy some Christmas Easter eggs or something, right? So think about it. What if he gets cut? What if I get cut? What if Chloe gets cut? What if everyone around the world gets cut because my father-in-law is positive? Then what are you going to do? What's brother Higgins going to do? What's my father-in-law is going to do? He's taking up Python right now, the last programming language that he has nothing that he's never learned, and now he is. He is self-sufficient, yeah. Meanwhile, what is Chloe going to do? Well, me and Chloe got a backup plan of a backup plan of a backup plan. We're not talking about our backup plans, but what is brother Higgins going to do? What is sister Pee Wee going to do? What is the rest of you guys gonna do? You see? Point is, what's gonna happen to America? People say, "Oh, they won't happen." Let me tell you, my sister, who's the biggest Trumper in the world. I'm not against any Trumpers. Okay, I'm not. She said she's got a damn good gut feeling they're going to cut Social Security, and she's going to be working until she's 100, and she paid into it. Think about it, my own blood sister. Yeah, my own sister. Yeah, I don't talk about my family much. Yeah, see. My cousin Dinky turned around the other day. This was about a month ago, 2 months ago. She said that Social Security is going to be cut too. Yeah, guess why? Because she doesn't think it'll be around for her. But my point is, what are you going to do when it gets cut? People are talking. People are talking. I've heard a lot of different rumors going around. There are a lot of people on Facebook, not Facebook, sorry, Instagram. No, not Instagram. Blue Sky and YouTube comments. Please excuse me. I'm a little tired. I'm trying to get over the massive headache thing. And they said, and I quote, that Americans don't realize what they have until it's gone. Yeah. Think about it. I mean, literally, think about it. You got things going on. I mean, I was talking to a friend of mine who was talking about something the other day, and I was talking about a i9 computer. Now, Brother Higgins is always talking about the i9. Oh, how come you don't use it? Well, I just went in and had it serviced, okay? It wasn't easy to get serviced because if you look at the newer computers these days, which Brother Higgins hasn't told me about. Look at this. Right? There is no battery except in internal. In batteries internal. So you have to take it all apart, change the hard drive, change the RAM out. Very expensive protocol. You're paying more for an upgrade than you are upgrading it. So, but then again, Brother Higgins would say, well, it's my computer's 20 years old. I need a new one. Well, you get a laptop, Brother Higgins. They call these computers now disposable laptops for a reason. Batteries internal like phones. I did not learn about that till recently. So I'm learning something new every day, Brother Higgins. So back to our discussion, people. Now, the problem with everything going down the pipe is, what do we do about Brother Higgins? I'm worried about him. I really am, because of what's going on. But, there's these people that think, Social Security can't be touched. Can't. That's where you got people, senators in Congress, trying to come together, but then you got other people saying, give it up. You're not going to touch Social Security. But some people say, everyone's information's already out there. I don't know what to believe, but I'm not going to sit here and dwell on what we don't know. What we know is, what if Social Security does get cut? My father-in-law is doing pipe on me. I am thinking we'll wait and see. But if it does happen, do you have a plan? Do you have 2 or 3 months of rent backed up? Do you have enough food to get you by? Because here's how I see it, okay? If you're going to basically prep, you better have enough food. You better basically make sure to pay ahead of time your electric bill. Chloe and I have gotten ours basically to a T. So we could probably wait. As long as the electric companies still do the electric subsidies through the companies, the power companies, we should be fine. But that's unless they get an executive order saying that company or that program is gone. All right. So that leaves the electricity covered, the rent covered, the food covered. So you're saying, okay, now let's just do a hypothetical scenario, as Tildor would say if he was around. The Black Swan. Okay. Now, if they're going to take Social Security away, hypothetically, which is, I don't know. Chloe's all screaming at me, I'm going to go hungry. Well, let me just put it this way. That's where Chloe plans out and hopes for the best. And more likely, you can write it out. Now, there's people out there that rely on Social Security. Old man. I know an old man, right? He relies on his, but he just found out because his boat that he bought is from France. He's got to pay high prices and import tax for importing parts for it. That must make it really weird if you're buying something that's not made in America, right? Yeah. So Most of the sailboats are made out of the country, except for Hunter, which is made out of uh, Florida. And yeah, and then all those parts are imported to put it together. Now, we're not talking about boats here, okay? If you have a plan, you can survive. You just got to basically plan it out right now. This is the time I keep telling you. Now, Brother Higgins you know, knows I have a Blue Sky account, and I've seen some of his posts. He's like, "Are we out of the woods yet?" No. Now, here's the problem. The problem is while I've been basically away from making videos, people say, "Oh, you're avoiding giving us the bad news about moderator Zoe." We won't go there. That's between me and Zoe. You guys don't get to know that info. Um, and then other issues. Yeah, what's going on is you'll find out eventually. Now, so the next issue is, are you prepped? Now, Zoe knows me really well that I'm a prepper. Okay, I'm holed up in my house. Why? Because A, it's prep time. B, this is not the time you get lax. Okay, C, and this is a big one. C, we don't know what's going to happen. I mean, literally. I don't think if moderator Zoe was here tomorrow morning in my studio, I don't think she would not disagree that this is the biggest. She forecasted, Pee Wee forecasted, the Higgins forecasted Donald Trump was going to win. But we didn't expect all this news to come out. We're still trying to analyze what's real and what isn't. I mean, literally, you got the left wing saying, "Oh yeah, well, he took 880 billion. I ran it through a computer. It only took 8 billion. So what else is there? It's fake news. But for the sake of the argument, are you prepped? Do you have a plan? Now, here's the scenario. What if one morning you wake up, Chloe and I wake up, Social Security's cut. Temporary. Okay. Well, it goes through the courts. Brother, the Higgins has no money. And Sister Pee Wee has no money. And I'm just throwing out there, Chloe has no money. And other people we know are retired, have no money. What happens? You guys sit there and say, "Oh, what do we do?" Meanwhile, as a prepper, food's taken care of, electrical's taken care of, the internet may be out, but they can reconnect it later, right? Or you can figure something out, right? Yeah. So while we're waiting, here's what happens: everyone gets no money. Meanwhile, let's just say for subsidized housing user, for example, the scenario goes like this. First, they turn around, right? Now, I know Brother the Higgins has his own house, so he's kind of secure, right? But what about the people on subsidized housing, right? This is where I address some of you guys. They turn around and they lose it, right? So people with subsidized housing loses it, right? Manager goes around, eviction. Let's just say there's an entire eviction of one of our buildings. There's like 7 subsidized, right? And I've talked to the manager for the other building company and here. She says there would be a mass exodus, basically. They'd be all evicted. No questions asked, right? And the government wouldn't sit there and say, "Oh, well, this goes through the courts. You can't evict." It could, but let's just say hypothetically it doesn't. So you got all these people, and moderator Zoe, who's been to my studio, my apartment, knows that, frankly, yeah, let's just say she knows 99% of them would be homeless on their ass. Yeah, but that's beside the point. Okay, so let's just say they're all out. Let's just say I'm secured. Everyone else is mad because I'm still living here. Well, it goes through the court system. That's what their plan needs to be. People need to plan for it. If they can't plan for it, and they want to buy booze and cigarettes and goodies and makeup baggy goodies and Timu bags and whatever else. I mean, there was this one thing I was talking about the other day, and Chloe says, "Oh, people still do that? The little baggie where you get like a monthly thing of makeup?" Yeah. What happened? Well, there you have it. See where I'm going with this? So they all get evicted. Now they're living in cars or tents. Meanwhile, the manager's got all these units ready to get rented for rent again. New subsidized when it opens again, you see? Meanwhile, that's where Chloe comes in and says, "Oh, look, there's plenty of opening." Manager says, "Okay, let me think about it." Now, last time I heard, a long time ago, I think it was, Sister Moderator Zoe put in an application somewhere too, and like 8 buildings, right? So if she got called and says, "Oh yeah, there's 30 units available," she'd take one. She'd be like, "Oh yeah," more likely if she was here. We don't know where she is. So there you go. But yeah, think about it. This would open up the biggest housing scandal in America. Most people would not be prepped for it. Most people don't have the skills to set it, and most people would be on their ass. That's why I keep telling you guys, if you can prep with moderation. Now, I have a plan. I'm not going to tell you my plan. Only one who knows my plan is Chloe, and Chloe needs to go ahead with it, because once you get everything put together and say your rent's covered for 6 months, right, or a year, and say Social Security isn't cut, you just keep paying the rent anyways, single rent, double rent, whatever, 2 months, 3 months at a time, your rent's going to be covered for a long while. Meanwhile, as a prepper, all you got to do is figure out your toilet paper, paper towels, your milk, stuff that you may need at Costco, and you focus on that. Then you basically have your entire supply. Me and Chloe, we got already most 90% of our preps ready to go for a year. Actually, I think we're good for about 2 years. But there's other items we're not ready for. So toilet paper, paper towels, coffee. Where do we go? Costco. When are we going? Next month. Why? Because we're renting a minivan. Now, sister moderator's always around. Gonna get my Kirkland Supremo coffee. See, I had to throw that in there. It's pretty good coffee, actually. It grows on me. Right now, I'm kind of, So, anyhow, it's almost 30 minutes. I don't want to tie up all you guys' time tonight, but you guys get the idea. Let me finish this, and then I can go walk my doggy. So, make a plan, stick with it. What will happen? Social Security gets cut. Now, Higgs, you're watching this, send me an email. Give me a call. My phones are always open to you. There you go, peeps. For the rest of you, I may do another video, maybe tomorrow, when I get some more intel. I'm trying to do more live videos for you guys, but like I said, the video live problem is live. I like offline more. Then when I do my videos, I just throw it in the trash can. I may do another offline video tonight after I think, but maybe I should talk to you guys about things. But anyways, we'll know. So that said, please unsubscribe. Please post comments. Please leave feedback, suggestions, like, subscribe buttons, hold some fun for your family, including your dogs, your cats, your bunnies, your service dogs, your service bunnies. Hit the bell notification, thumbs up button, subscribe button. Keep the comments nice. All we ask. Thank you. And God bless you in everything you do. And I'll see you in the next video.